The Mandalorian on the Disney Plus channel. This is chapter 3 of what looks to be a pretty good story. The Mandalorians, they live, well, something that confused me a little bit. The Mandalorians live down the street from the guy that gives them assignments and the mob. They live like, he walked there in like 30 seconds. So I'm thinking, you're supposed to be hidden. Nobody sees you guys. There's like 40 of you or whatever. And nobody sees all these Boba Fett looking dudes walking in and out of this building. That's crazy. And y'all are in there, hammering and shaping metal. And, you got a blacksmith shop in there. And you're just like, dong, dong. And nobody hears that. I got a problem with that. I don't understand how that is. And it wasn't like, it was a time lapse and he was walking and then he was like in another city, or maybe he was in it was the same street. He's on the same street. He's on the same block. But they're hidden. I don't get that. Maybe they'll explain it later. But anyway, the mob dudes are old Empire dudes. It's after the Empire, so their armor is all, shoddy and bad looking and everything, but they're mob guys now. So are they just bad mob guys? Because the mob in the movie, they usually have the fancy cars, a lot of women throwing money around, diamonds all over their fingers. These mob guys are barely making it. I don't understand that. Now they did say that the currency had changed because the Empire had, a certain currency. I guess it's like the Confederates. When the Confederates, went down, the Confederacy went down, Confederate dollar left too, and you had to start all over. So maybe it's that kind of a thing. I don't know. I don't live in space. I'm just watching a movie. What is Grief or Carl Weathers going to do? Because he tells him in the movie, he said, look, you're a rich man now. Shoot, I'm rich too. And shows him that he's got some of those pieces of the Mandalorian metal that they use to make their armor with. Is that going as currency now? Or is he planning on making some armor for himself as well? And he said he's rich now, but he's got the pieces of metal to make the armor. So it's got to be another form of currency. Cause he says he's rich. What's he gonna do with it? And then also, then that means that if you catch a Mandalorian and you beat the brakes off of him, you can take his armor, because it's like having armor made out of gold, except it's laser proof gold. So they're walking around with gold, what we would consider like gold armor, I guess, because their metal is worth money, right? I guess. They said in the movie, or in this episode, they said that there's only one Mandalorian allowed up top at a time. I assume that they meant out of this little room that they're living in, but I guess maybe he meant up top as in like off the planet, because they were there, and they later left, so people saw them. But maybe when he said up top, he meant off planet. And if so, is their planet destroyed? I got a lot of questions. Did their planet get destroyed? Why are they hiding out here? What happened to Boba Fett world? Did somebody blow up the Boba Fett world? And if so, how so? Because it's a world filled with Boba Fetts. How you gonna do that? Maybe the Empire had to turn on. They're the only ones that had the power to do it. Dragon Ball Z, Frieza blows up the planet full of Saiyans, even though that they were powerful troops working for him, because he feared that one day they would try to overturn his rule. Maybe the Empire said, you know what, we're going to go all Frieza on you, and we're going to blow up your world so these dudes don't turn on us one day. Maybe it's the same kind of thing. I don't know. It was a great fight. They had a great fight when the Mandalorian, I'm pretty sure they said his name this episode, but well, you know what? I think they were just calling him Mando, short for Mandalorian. He gets in a couple of fights, and in this one, he's kind of John Wicking it, walking through the building and just pew, 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 zapping people and, peeking around the corner and then throwing a grenade. He's doing like the John Wick thing, which was kind of cool. I enjoyed that fight. And then later, he's fighting some more of them, and the fight gets better. And then later, he's in a fight for his life, and he gets a rescue, an unsuspected, but kind of unsuspected rescue, and that was an even better fight. So they just had great fights. It just built up from one fight to another. Disney really knows how to bring it. A lot of people give Disney crap because they're pretty much dominating the box office right now, and probably television soon. And yeah, that kind of sucks because you want to see some other stuff. But at the same time, if you're the best, let them be the best. They're the best right now. Let them be the best. And they're the best at hallway fights, and they're the best at, for somebody that's just PG, they don't want to really get into the whole R-rated thing. They're pretty good at fights, and I dig a good movie fight. I think they're going to do the wolf and cub story. I think that's where this is headed. I said it in another video. I'm saying it again now. Wolf and Cub, in case you don't know, is a Japanese story about a samurai who's like super crazy good at his samurai chopping people up thing. Works with a Shogun. Shogun's like, look, dog, you just a little too good at that. I can't trust you around here. I guess he's trying to do a Frieza thing too. I'm going to zap you and your family because I don't want you to turn on me. So he turns on him first. And that's cool, except he's the greatest samurai ever. So he kills everybody that tries to get him. They got his wife. They didn't get his son. So he's traveling the world with a baby carriage. Of course, his son is in there. And the Shogun is constantly sending assassins to try to kill him. That's what the whole show is about. Different assassins, trying to get him, problems with the kid or whatever. That's basically the whole thing, the whole gist of it. And then he'd whip out that sword and he'd fix everything with a couple of... So that seems to be what the Mandalorian is turning into. The baddest dude around is now the baddest dude around, but he's got a baby with him. And it looks like the role of the Shogun, who constantly sent people after Wolf, the main character, is going to be Carl Weathers, because he has an entire guild of mercenaries and assassins. He's no longer that happy with the Mandalorian. So I'm thinking he's going to be the one constantly sending people after him. I thought it was going to be the crime lord dude, but now they've positioned it so it looks like it's going to be Carl Weathers constantly sending people after him. And that could lead to some good viewing. I mean, if you like a show where there's gunfights, if you like some Star Wars with some aliens and some robots and, laser guns and maybe a lightsaber here and there and some good fights, if I didn't mention the fights, then that's what this is turning into. The Mandalorian has got something that pretty much everybody in space wants. He's decided he's going to keep it and do whatever he's going to do with it. Maybe he's going to raise Baby Yoda. Maybe he's going to take him to someplace. Nobody knows where Yoda World is at, so he can't be taking him home. Maybe he's going to take him to some Jedi. So I don't know what he's going to do with him. But he's got the baby, and he's not giving him up. Then you've got Carl Weathers and these bounty and the mob people who are actually former Empire people, all gunning for him. But he's like the baddest dude around. So that's going to be good viewing. All Wolf and Cub style. I can't wait till the next episode. But this episode right here, I'm going to give this episode 8 bags of popcorn. That's right. I said 8 bags of popcorn. But that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Have you seen The Mandalorian? Any of the shows? What's your favorite part? of this show. Have you seen Star Wars? I know that you have. Who's your favorite character? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.